all of these different dimensions of life process, human life process, must be synthesized on the SME. We've got to be able to speak the language of each of these different experts, if you will, or representatives of these groups or these areas of expertise or knowledge, and in order to generate whole solutions, in order to transform our world in a way that makes sense and is healthy and wholesome. That is a process that we've talked about of murmuration, meaning that birds and fish, they move together in flocks seamlessly, where they don't collide with each other. They don't bump into each other and fall out of the sky and die. they just fly around and in formation and in unison very elegantly. So that process of murmuration is a process of, in part, of harmonization of decision and choice and intention, an alignment of decision-making process and choices and setting and enacting of intentions in the world in every dimension of life. So if we harmonize this process of becoming capable of collective murmuration, not in a military kind of way where everybody's being commanded and told what to do and destroy that group of people or destroy that target or whatever, that's not murmuration. Or that might be one of the grossest, least evolved dynamics or forms of it. We would suggest that the conscious murmuration, moving from unconditional love and compassion with service intention, is what we're doing our best to curate the emergence of within the WSS and within humanity. So, and that can only be based on unconditional love. And unconditional love can only occur consciously. You don't get unconditional love without accompanying consciousness. We also want to suggest that in this process of bringing together all these different groups and peoples and disciplines and areas of expertise and political system elements and organizations, that emotions are key and core to that happening. If there isn't a collective empathy, if there isn't a collective care, if there isn't a collective agreed upon emotional fuel and energy for the process of choosing to unite, choosing to mobilize, choosing to align, choosing to operate in a sustained collaborative effort, if that fuel isn't there, it's like not having gasoline for your car or electricity for your light bulbs. It's not felt. If the fuel of love is not available, not the emotional fuel we're hoping everyone will be running on as a collective is love and compassion and gentleness, kindness, and care, not the emotions of fear, hatred, or judgmentalness or destructive intention. So synthesizing into our global strategic process and into the core of the social movement engine, the capacity to curate the emotional dynamics of human beings and help them love, help them care, help them understand that the fuel for collaboration is love and kindness and compassion and service intention and alignment with spirit, in whatever way anybody would want to align with spirit. And that makes this integration of all of these different areas of knowledge and expertise possible because people care enough to do it. They care enough and love enough to be motivated to recognize that it's vital to do it and then to follow through on accomplishing it, to do whatever's necessary to bring it about. And that's conscious community. efficient, conscious community, loving, conscious community. We would suggest this is for you folks that are doing your best to define sustainability. This is it. We're going to tell you a story, a little snippet of a story called The Little Prince, which is a wonderful story. And in one part, we won't tell you the whole story. In one part of the story, this character in the story, the little prince, that lived on his own planet, and these baobab trees would grow, and if he didn't dig them up or trim them constantly, they would take over his little tiny planet he lived on. And he asked an artist, "Would you draw me a sheep that I can take that sheep and I can take it back to my planet, and it will eat the baobab trees while they're little, and when they're little sprigs, so that they don't overgrow the whole planet. And then I won't be required to stay on the planet and constantly tend the baobab trees so they don't overgrow my whole planet." And so the artist started drawing sheeps. And he drew a big sheep. He said, no, that's not the right sheep. It's too big for my planet. Okay, he drew a smaller sheep. No, that's too small a sheep. It won't be able to eat all the baobab trees. And he kept drawing sheep, and none of them was just right. So what the artist did was he drew a sheep, a container for the sheep, like a carry container for a cat or a dog. And he said to the little prince, "You see that box?" And the little prince said, "Yes." He says, the sheep, the perfect sheep that fits all the characteristics that you want, is in that box. And the little prince was overjoyed because he had exactly what he needed. Are we making sense with this story, this metaphorical story, in that what we need the SME to produce, and what we need to produce as a species in every moment of life on this planet, is changing. We need more AI technology right now that is focused on supporting healthy social process in our world. We need more AI in this world that is focused on helping us collaborate. We need that as fast as we can get it. New AIs that actually help the world rather than dividing the world or bringing people at odds with each other. And that's a changing panorama that's going to change faster and faster and faster. So we need a system that can change as fast or faster than the world's needs change, and produce solutions ahead of schedule, so that people don't have suffering and pain due to a lack of a solution being there in a timely manner, or a resource being there in a timely manner, or education being there in a timely manner.